versatile. But anyways, I'm joined here by my man Maddie, producer and sound engineer, and as of summer 2022, SP-404 Mark II owner.
Finally.
Yeah, I haven't really messed around with my SP-404 too much, to be honest. Like, I've made a couple of beats, but I haven't really explored all the features that it has. So, unlike you, because I'm just telling a bit of a backstory for people to know where it's all coming from. So you bought your SP just to have something
on July, before vacation, basically.
Exactly. And so the way to just learn it is to just take only the SP on your vacation, right? So you got your iPad as well, right?
I got I got the PC too, but I didn't want to use it, so it was like for if I needed to have Ableton for some reason. So yeah, but I didn't need it with the SP, so that was good.
Yeah, no, exactly. I think this is the way to go, man. For because you need to spend a bit of time to learn this device, and people have been getting it lately more than before. Because I think the supply issues are. I mean, there are still supply issues, but people have been getting more and more. More people have managed to buy. So I feel like it's not such a scarcity anymore with the SP.
Yeah.
And so
I think like it all started with the 2.0 update actually, and a lot of people wanted the SP so bad that was out of the market.
I totally agree, by the way. The 2.1 update, I think there was one feature that tipped me over the edge, so to speak, to buy it. And it was the fact that you can now record the chromatic mode. When you play the chromatic mode, you can just record it inside the sequencer. Because, like, for me, the workaround that you had to do before that was kind of stupid. I don't know, like what?
Yeah, it was. We can say that it was kind of stupid. And like having that and then not being able to sequence it, like it was.
Yeah, exactly. And when the SP was released about 1 year ago, actually in October 2021. There was a lot of hype. A lot of people were super excited. A lot of people were like, oh my God, this is the best device ever. You just need to buy it. It's just so amazing. I think this is kind of misleading, to be honest, because it's not for everyone, and it's something that you need to put a lot of effort into. Would you agree about that? Why did you get it? And do you agree that it's kind of a bit of a more cumbersome device than something that we're all using?
I think you're super right about that, because let's face it, like, if you want to be totally honest, we just need Ableton and not even external plugins to make music. But that's not what, an instrument like that is about in the end. So I think, like having synths, hardware synths, I don't think the bass station sounds better than the VST or whatever, but you have it directly on your hands, and you have knobs and a lot of pads and buttons to play. So that gives you a different, let's call it inspiration about what you do as a musician. Because in the end, I mean, for me, I think it was my first sampler. I mean, I used MPCs, I used the old SP for 2 days. Then I was like, okay, it's cool, but probably it's for somebody else. But in the end, I think this is a machine that's more for the mid to advanced producer.
Exactly.
Not for who's starting right now.
I think I was going to ask you about this, but you said it before I even asked you. Because I see a lot of beginners getting it and people recommending it to everyone. And I actually watched one of the great reviews I saw. It was from Bless Beats. I don't know if you know his channel.
Yeah.
He makes some really dope stuff. And in the summer, actually in July, he posted a very long review of the 404 Mark II, showing like some interesting features. And in the end, he was totally like, what I liked about his review is that he was totally honest. Like he was like, if you want to get into hardware and if you want to like have something easy, this is not maybe the thing for you, and it's exactly for the intermediate to advanced beat maker, because you need to put in a lot of effort to get some good results. On the plus side, it can get you to some places that you would never go. Right? Is that one of the reasons that you got it?
I mean, I got it because first I wanted to try something else other than synths, other than, I don't know, controllers, blah, blah, blah. I have plenty of those already, like modular synths, as you can see, but never had a sampler, never liked the MPC workflow. I love the machine, as you already showed me a lot of times, but I mean, I would love a Machine Plus, but it's a bit overkill, for making 2 or 3 beats outside, and then I won't use it in the studio probably. But with this one, it's different. Like it's kind of a hybrid thing that I can use it around the studio. We can talk about that a bit, later about the uses of this machine. But I think it has a lot of potential on a lot of small fields. So that was my decision. I didn't thought like I wanted to know the machine a bit better, so I bought a big 4 vacation just to understand how the machine works. If I can do full tracks on it, and you can, and I wanted to see how it fits in my studio workflow, and it did pretty well. Like even in the studio, I tend to use a lot the SP instead of the push, for example. Even for sampling, which the push is really good, I just use it. I just use the SP more. It's quicker. It's quick, really quick.
And again, that's one of the reasons that I got you on the stream, because you've used it a bit and you have some experience with it. One thing that I got that I don't think has been updated so much, though, I think is the sequencer of the SP, because it has been improved. There is the quantization with the strength, which is really nice.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's pretty much the same concept with the rehearsal mode. Like many people that start to use the SP without coming from a machine or from the MPC, they'll be very surprised that there is no like record button. You just need to trigger a pattern, and then you record over that pattern. And to just play the pattern without recording, you just need to press the record button again. Something that was a bit of a shock to me, to be honest. Like I never imagined a device could work like that, but I don't know. I guess that's how it works. And what do you think about the sequencer?
I think I don't use it because, as you probably know, like my music doesn't need a sequencer because everything is not quantized. So I don't really love to use that.
So you don't use the sequencer at all? You just use the
No, I use not the sequencer. Sorry, are you talking about the sequencer, like not the sequencing function?
Yeah, I'm talking
like not the TC. The pattern sequencer. Yeah, is the best one. I was thinking about the TC rack, like the sequencer that they put it on. I think it was on 2.0 update. No, that I didn't use, but no, I use the pattern every time. Like that's I tried to use the resample method, but it wasn't really my thing. I mean, I did 1 or 2 beats with that, but still, like it's, I don't know. It's a different workflow. I would use it for some stuff, but then it's difficult. Let's put it like that. It's really difficult.
Yeah, I see Rusty's comments has posted in the chat. I was happy when they added the sequencer in the 2.0 update. I think he means the TR The steps.
TR.
I think this is what he means.
Yeah.
Because that's what they added. And I've never. Did you try the step sequencing, or do you use step sequencing?
No, that's the thing I said. Like I don't like it at all, because first, my music is not quantized, so it's really difficult to play my stuff, you know, with the you know, and putting the actual pads on the exact measure, blah blah blah. But it's pretty rudimental as it is right now. I can see it, like I can use it to put the snares maybe on the 2 and 4, just to have some tempo. But then
I feel like for people who are making more quantized music, though, it can be helpful, like maybe trap beat.
Nah, it's cool.
Beats, I guess like maybe
I think the quantization is super good on these machines. So just, you know, even if you play a lot, you know, super bad, like it's gonna be fine. So
I mean, it doesn't really hurt as long as it doesn't really take away from.
You know what the sequencer. That's one thing that I didn't see anyone, I think not even on Reddit, talk about, and I still don't know if it's a thing. But when you record with the sequencer, basically you cannot change the pitch afterwards.
The pitch of what?
So the pitch of the sample you put it on the sequencer. So let's say you put a snare or clap on the sequencer. Let me switch to the other. Let's say you put a clap on the sequencer.
Let me just switch it to the full screen mode so people can just. There we go.
So basically, let's try it. So you go into the pattern mode, and then I think you go to rec, go into there, and then there's real time, or how was it? Remain TC rec. So you go into TC rec mode, then you go into rec. Then you select a pad.
Okay.
And that's it, right? Then you scroll into the pattern. So that's let's say you want to change the pitch, right? You see? I'm changing the pitch, but it doesn't change it on the.
But if you trigger it, just what the hell is going on? Like, why is that? Like, I mean that
exactly.
That's the like. I think people who are into the SP, like SP fans and people who are used to the SP, they will not be surprised because the SP is full of such weird quirks that they're like, okay, we'll just work around that. Like the people are used to. Like I think people see it as a challenge to just get around these limitations and these weird.
Yeah, exactly. Like exactly. But if obviously if you record the MIDI, like let's call it MIDI, like if you play it, then you can change the pitch. What I think happened is they have two different sections. So the recorded pads and the sequencer is where you play the notes. So if you go into chromatic mode, it records into the sequencer, like the TD. What was it called? TR record. Let's call it the sequencer and the pattern. Otherwise, I get super confused. So if you record on the pattern, so you get a record and then play it real time. That's on the pattern actually. If you record on the sequencer, then you can record the pitch, you know, whatever, and then that's why you cannot change it afterwards. Because if you click on the actual pad, you can change the pitch on the individual pads.
That's weird, man. That's weird.
So that's.
But anyways, yeah, I haven't even tried the TR record. I'm just recording in real time. Luckily, there's no latency like on the previous one. There was a slight latency on the OG 404. And I've read that it depends on the card that you're using because it's read straight from the card. Whatever, man.
Yeah.
The other one is just it is what it is. But yeah, like a lot of people.
We need to say that. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
No, we need to say that this machine doesn't work out of the SD card anymore. So the SD card is just for importing, exporting samples and backing up project, whatever you want to back up, which is really cool because it's super fast. So I think that's a plus.
Exactly. I think this is a very good decision. And it has limited the sampling time to 16 minutes for one pad, which is not really a huge problem. Like you can't record 4 hours to one pad, but like who would do that anyways? Not really a huge. And the other trade-off that we have from the previous versions, they've removed the mic, which is, I mean, it is fine with me.
I don't understand that because I would love to have a mic on this one, like straightforward. Maybe bring in that with the batteries, outside, and then you record, whatever, anything.
Dude, like how about it prepares your pasta and coffee as well, man? Like,
I know. You're right. You can just plug a microphone and, that's it.
Exactly. Like there are so many mics now. You can buy even compact mics. But anyways, what is the thing that sets apart the SP from all the other similar devices? Is the effects. So
that's a good question. In my opinion, it's the workflow because it's super unorthodox. Like there's nothing like it. Instead, if I use an MPC, a machine, they all kind of the same, if I can say that. Like the mentality on which you approach the machine is the same, on these devices. Even like if I take a machine on an MPC, I immediately understand how to use it. Like not every buttons or every knob, but the workflow. Here is kind of super limited, but I think it's cool, like having those limitations,
By the way, Mallow Beat, and he has some dope tutorials, by the way. His channel is one of the coolest ones for MPC and SP tutorials. He says, the step sequencer has been a fun addition to the 404. It has made me come up with new grooves that I wouldn't have done on my own. I think that's fair. I think that even though it may not be like my preferred method as well. Again,
I think that's a cool function on this sequencer that we didn't talk about, which is the subdivisions.
Oh yeah, we'll get into this in a second, but I see that another person in the chat, West123, says, they say, change Control 2 to sync after choosing sample before setting the step, then you can change the pitch later. What? Change Control 2 to sync? Like, can you just try? Man, I don't know what. Dude, come on. Is it?
Control 2. Like, what do you mean Control 2?
I don't know.
Quantize.
Change Control 2 to sync. So Control 2 to sync. Like, I guess this is maybe in the pitch speed tab. On the pitch and speed section. So Control 2.
Not. You mean probably these?
Yeah, I guess so.
Maybe. I don't
know either, man. But anyways, maybe West123 can elaborate on this so we can figure it out.
Please, if you find a way. Otherwise, I'm gonna message the Roland support because I was pretty angry about this, to be honest. Like that it didn't function normally like the other thing. Like for me, that made the step sequencer unusable. At least for the drum hits, if I have a pitched melody, it's normal that if I change the sample, it doesn't change the melody.
Exactly.
The sample pitch, sorry. So
that is very weird, but yeah, maybe we can just figure it out. Pitch speed button, West123 says. Pitch speed button, yeah. But like, where do you change it to sync? I don't know.
Maybe when you hit record. I don't know. I never tried it. Let's see. There's a way. So you remain.
He says
pitch speed
before setting the step, before you actually put the step on the step sequencer. I don't know, man. We're just trying.
Okay. Yeah, I need to figure it out. But yeah, thanks for the advice. Actually,
We'll just try.
I will surely try it
After we finish the stream.
Mhm.
So yeah. You said what sets it apart. I asked you if it were the effects.
Mhm.
But for you, these are, it's not the effects. But what about the effects?
Let's say the effects are really, really cool and crazy. Especially like what I love is the scatter one. Scatter is super good, like for coming up with super interesting patterns like that you wouldn't even be able to think. Like let's see, for example, so this is a simple pattern, right? So to me, that's already like something really valuable, which is exactly like glitch, for example, as a VST, or you have plenty of them right now, even Shaperbox, you know. But having that here at the click of a button, that's really not.
It has something similar in the TR8, right? On their drum machine. I mean,
the scatter, yeah.
They have the scatter. I'm not sure if it's the same, but
no, it's only one knob, as I understand. I mean, I reckon it was really a lot of years ago, but it was just one knob, and you get the amount, and then it was all like random. Instead, here you get the amount and the type, so you can get a lot of stuff, you know.
True.
So yeah, and plus I like the filter. You know, the delay are cool. Then the 303 vinyl sim.
Let me just add something about the 303 vinyl sim. I think this is a great value to have in this device, because first of all, an actual 303, super expensive now, for obvious reasons. And there is this plugin from Goodhertz, the Wolf compressor. You probably know about this.
Yeah.
And man, it's not too cheap either. I think it's 150 or something like that. So
yeah.
Which is actually a very good emulation. They've even I actually saw a podcast where they interviewed the guy from Goodhertz. They're even emulating to quote, the shitty converters of the 303. So it should be great. But again, 150 euro plugin, and you have this inside the 404 Mark II. So that's a great value for me.
It's super good value. I think it's amazing. Like that compressor it's even better than the other compressor. I think the one that you have all the values. This one, which I liked it. I like this one. Oh, by the way, a quick tip: if you go to remain, hit the MFX, they stay on screen.
Come on, man. How do we do it? Like, that's the reason I do this stream, so I can learn so many things I haven't explored already. I'm wondering why the effects are always disappearing, and it was kind of annoying.
Yeah. No, in my case, I have the screensavers because I spent so many times on that. I know every minute it just goes into screensaver mode. But yeah, this compressor is really good. That I don't use it too much, but if you want to use it the old way, like, you know, when you crank it up and you use it as a side chain, so you put all your drums like kick and snare really high in volume, and the sample is super low, and then you crank it up. That's something you can do.
The SP fake sidechain, right? You just compress the master so heavily that when your drums hit, everything else ducks because it's too much.
Exactly.
I think that's one of the reasons they haven't implemented real sidechain. They are like,
yeah.
Like, they're like, you're gonna do it the SP way, and the SP way is just too puts too much.
They like, yeah, a super small apple, like
exactly.
They want to do it in their way.
Exactly.
No, but it's there's a lot of like the new ones, like the SX reverb, delay, you know, The cloud delay is super cool. I use that all the time. It's like a grain delay. Backspin is super cool. So
Can you show it?
you so there's a lot of kind of performance effects on this machine, which I love. Like
Show the tape stop.
the stay stop, it's should be a stopper, I think.
Yeah.
Oh no.
No, that's the one. That's the one. And you can set it up to be slower. To like we have the note value. I think the rate to set it up to be slower. I think it's a cool.
Yes.
It's a cool effect for again for performance. The backspin, the tape stop, the DJ effects looper. These are all great for performance. Now, two things I wanted to add here. First of all, I think there are some effects that are just clogging up the effect section. I think the ones that are just these weird single syllable names, Kodama and stuff like, I don't know. These are not really, don't really.
There's only, those are most of them are a delay, I think. Exactly. But there's one really good reverb delay kind of effects.
Let's see it.
But I don't remember the name. Zenzu, probably Zenzu. I don't know why they call it in this weird way. Probably. That's another. This is the best one of all the weird named effects.
Yeah, I think this one pretty cool, man. I think it was very useful. I need to explore them more. And second thing that I didn't like, dude, why are some of the effects set so that when you turn on the effect, the setting that it's at actually mutes the sound? It's just set to, like, even some of the effects are even set up to be at 0 volume when you insert it. And the worst thing is that sometimes this setting is on the second page. So you need to go to the second page just to get the sound going. I'm pretty sure they will fix this in the next firmware update, but that's kind of a...
I really hope they get the standard values in a normal way for the effects. Like, you're right, like most of them are just they don't make sense.
No,
the only good one is the isolator, which is, you know, how I would use it anyways. But all the other ones I always change them.
You are correct. Even the ones that don't mute the sound, their default preset, so to speak, is just not the best one to have. So,
and you cannot record them in any way. So if you use them on a project, you're just screwed. You can record the master effects, so the 3 and 4 bus. I call it the master effects. Record them, so you can just save the bus, favorite, and then record them for every song.
Call them together with the project, right.
Not together with the project. You need to change it manually. So you have 16 presets. I'll show you, it's easier. So you have this, favorite, and then you go into your favorites, 1 through 16, and it's here where you save your favorites. So you see, you save your configuration of 2 effects.
All right.
So this is downer and lo-fi.
That's a good tip, man. I didn't really, I knew about this, but I never really considered why that would be something that would.
How I use them? Yeah. No, they're really cool. I don't use them as master effects. I usually don't put anything on my master. But you can use them for sound design. So basically you save weird stuff on these 16, and then you just play other synths over it and change the favorites, so you go into weird combination of, you know, synths or loops and effects. So for example, I have these. So you see, you can, you know, it's really quick to get new ideas in that way.
You can, you can of course resample this, right? Like, so the SP is listening to everything that you're doing. So you can just, you need to go to the mark button, right? And so now that you've gone to the mark button, where is this sample now? Like, where is it? Is it on a pad? Like, where is this sample now?
No. The sample is like on his home memory, and then to save it on the pads, you need to, if you want to, you can crop it. Otherwise, you just put record, and then you put on any pad, any free pad, you know, on the banks.
Okay.
So you just put it on the banks.
So you need to press record in order to add to a pad. Otherwise, it's lost, right?
It's lost. Yes.
As soon as you
should trim it before. Probably you should trim it before saving it to a pad, so at least you save some space. But you know, it's really easy. You just go like this, subpad, you know, and then just go like this and truncate.
By the way, man, this is an illustration of how it, like, we're just talking here, just trying out some stuff, and you already have something nice going on that you wouldn't have actually created otherwise, like just by going to the skip back section and just recording what you just did.
Exactly. That's really good.
I think, man,
plus the thing. Oh, sorry.
No, I think it's a good moment for you to play some beats, but go ahead. Like, before we go on with the discussion, can we hear some beats that you have on the 404?
Sure. I mean, I don't remember the beats, to be honest. Because on vacation I was making some beats like for these new anime projects that I want to do. So sampling anime and games, blah blah blah. So
I've heard the beats. They are
so I think. Yeah. I probably can play this one. It's for a dancer community in Rome that I made, but you know, it's cool. Like, I think that was one of the first project I did on this machine. So
do you have more? Because like, this one was great, but you showed. I heard like you sent me a couple of beats that were really nice. I remember.
I don't remember them, unfortunately, from the.
So, like, for people who are watching and just. How do you load the project actually? How do you do that?
Okay, so there's what I did, because I'm super, you know me, I'm super like strict with the project management. So what I did is basically for every project, and for right now I have like, I think 6 projects. So I just load the third project, for example, and say this project I have in total 5 songs. And what I did was on the patterns, I only use A, B, C, D, and E as the pattern. So the patterns are the song basically. Even if I do like resample, I just put the resampled part in a pattern, so at least I can play it, you know, in the pattern way. And basically all the, for example, pattern A uses sample from bank A and bank F. So they all on the same, little button.
Exactly.
So
that's a very smart way to organize. Like, cause organizing the project is very key for for me to get some work done. Because it can quickly get confusing when you have your samples and patterns dispersed in different banks. So what you're doing is just using the paths and the patterns within a single bank. And if you want to use a second bank, you use the bank that is on the same button.
Exactly.
Which is very, very... Did you read this somewhere, or did you come up with this yourself?
I don't think anybody was talking about the project management on this thing. And no, I just came up with it. Like I said, I spend more time organizing those stuff than probably making music. So yeah.
I mean, I don't know, man. I've got some pretty
so yeah. Sure. Let me see.
Okay.
Don't remember. So for example, you see the pattern changed when the previous one is finished. And if you just want to trigger the next one without waiting, you just go sub pad and then the pattern that you want.
Without holding the sub pad, it will wait for the pattern to finish. Kind of similar to triggering clips in Ableton. And if you want to do it immediately, just hold the sub pad. So, but
exactly.
Since we were talking over the beat, can you just play the beat from the beginning? Because I think this one is really, people really need to hear this.
I don't think I did anything else on this beat. Those are really sketches, by the way. Like it's not.
But like SP beats are never really that complex. It's all about the vibe. I think it's really dope. Did you use some samples for this one? Like this background sound, is that like a sample or?
I think this was before. Yeah, exactly. So before I was using A and B. Like those are really the first project I made. So I was using A, B for the first part, for the first A bank, and that was really confusing to me. So that's why I came up with the second method. But yeah, I know that it is just a single wave looped. So I looped it, and then I used the sequencer. One shot. I think that was from the iPad. That's the same thing with a lot of effects and reversed.
So that's a sample from where? Is that
some iPad apps. I really don't remember that. Okay. Basically, those are the same file. But I use the performance effects to make this kind of weird, glitchy thing. You can hear that in the background. So this was like a really cool thing that I like about this machine is that you can perform the effects and resample those and then use them as your main, synths which is something I never really used in Ableton, because you used to play the synths with the MIDI and then leave the MIDI here. Instead, here is another workflow. That's my initial.
So you're just printing. By the way, shout out to Why Not. He said Roland really knocked this out of the park, and we kind of agree.
We agree, bro.
We agree. I think they did all the right things. But that's a great dude. That's an amazing tip, man. Like, so when you are sampling stuff, just sample it with some of the glitchy effects or the DJ effects looper, and then you play like you can maybe even play it chromatically, and you will get all kind of weird. A question though, when you're playing stuff chromatically, does it always? Can you just turn off the BPM sync so you can just make it longer and shorter while you're playing chromatically, or is
sure.
Or is it okay? Because I wasn't really sure about that, because obviously when you sample one note and you want to play it up and down, I wouldn't really want to have it stretched. I want to have it, just play it chromatically like in a regular. And it's amazing that it took the SP 20 years to implement this feature. That's crazy, because
that was the selling point for me. That was the only thing I didn't like about the SP, and they fixed it. So that was
that and chopping samples, man. Because chopping samples on the previous, on the SX, you can just copy the sample and change the starting point. The original 404, you couldn't even do that. You need to do some crazy workaround that I don't even know how to do it. It's to be the flying lotus trick on the internet. I just read about it. I'm not even sure if it comes from him, but anyways, and that is just not necessary now. You can do chopping, pitching. It's like a proper sampler, man. So shall we play more beats, or shall we just go over the other? Do you have more beats?
I don't know.
Let's hear as much as you want to play. It's all about the music on this channel, like we talk, but we walk the walk as well. Like we do the
Oh, that's another.
Dope.
So that
dope. I remember you did this on the vacation, right?
Yeah. I showed you one super trick that I actually really love to use, which is the mute bass effects.
Yeah,
that stuff for me is amazing. Yeah,
so you're just pressing shift and the bus effects button, and it mutes everything that is routed to that bus, right? So you need to have your routing in a way that you
exactly.
So you can just maybe mute only the drums if you route them to. But which bus are you muting? Are you muting one or two?
Or both? No, that's different. That's the mute effects. So it's basically okay. That I think the effects only works with tempo effects, so like delay, reverb. So what it does, let me play something. So you see I have the delay, right? And when I press the shift plus bus effects, what it does is it mutes the track but not the effects.
Right.
And then when I press it again, it mutes the effects and brings back only the pattern sequence or whatever, the sounds.
So that's how we get those nice effects. I was wondering how you Dude.
Yeah. So, but what you use that for is for build-ups. So. And you come back to the part. I think that's, one way to use it, but you can use it to mute the and the pattern goes on if you don't have effects on that. But yeah, it's a cool mute instead of going into the volume,
No, for sure.
super quick.
But you also have the pad mute, which is again a new. I think it's new on the 404 Mark II. Shift plus reverse.
I don't know.
Shift
plus reverse. Yeah.
And you can mute separate pads, which is pretty cool.
So you go into pattern. Let's play. So this pad is muted, right? So yeah, that's I think
that's a great feature too to perform your beats. I mean, again, people who are used to machine, it's super basic, but hey, this is the SP-404, man. It's always been difficult to do basic things on the 404. Like it's just the way, like.
Yeah.
It is.
No, you're right.
The beat with the anime sample, or is it not here?
I can play it, but it's really an old, super old. That's the Evangelion sample. Yeah, there was.
If they make a SP beat battle, I think you're gonna be up there, like with these are like battle beats. Like people will be like, "Whoa, dude, where did that come from?" Like,
I think I have another one. Which I don't know if you know Outrun. It's a really old game, super old game. Game with the cars. Probably somebody from the viewers know it.
In your studio last week.
Yeah, that one with the cars. Okay. So this is like, made a super little, thing. I finished that on Ableton, obviously, because then I transfer my samples and then finish the project, maybe run it through the SP again to make some effects. But it's for arrangement, I don't, the SP is really slow to me. So
for sure, we're gonna talk about transferring it to Ableton in a second, but let's hear it.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's So that's pretty much the loop. Then I added the bass on Ableton, and it was finished on Ableton. But yeah, then I have, I think, another 3 or 4 beats. But yeah, I have a really cool one that I used. Let me show it to you. It's
like play as much music as you can, man. Like you rarely see people making this kind of stuff on the SP, like, or actually never see people making this kind of stuff. Most people just make lo-fi boom bap stuff, and this is like something very different. So
yeah.
Like,
no, I want to show you some lo-fi. That's the only one I made actually, and
for sure.
It's not lo-fi, but yeah, I made it with Resample.
Sure that it's not lo-fi as what people imagine lo-fi to be.
Yeah, probably. I made it using Resample, and it was really fun. I had to play on time, and to cut the beat on time, that was super difficult. But yeah, I think I managed to do that. And yeah, for example, for this one, I had some chord that I did on the, I think it was the Behringer, the DeepMind, and then I was liking those 3 or 4 chords, and I just hit mark, and then the beat started.
This one has a bit of a mind design vibe. I like it.
Maybe I should sing on it probably at some point. Here's the obviously some, shouts, because why not? And yeah, I think the other ones, because when I transferred the project, then those are new projects. When I transferred the projects, then I just delete that from the SP for the sake of keeping it organized. So yeah, some of them are already out. And yeah,
man, people in the chat.
What can we?
People in the chat are liking it. Me too, for sure, man. Dope stuff, man, dude.
Extra. Thanks, guys.
I mean, again, like not as produced as your, Ableton beats. Like they sound like, because by the way, definitely, like, for everyone watching, if they like what they're hearing, I've put Maddie's Instagram profile down in the video description. You can check out. You got links to your other stuff on your Instagram profile?
Yeah, it's on a Linktree LinkedIn profile. There's everything. So
more of his tracks that are really well produced. And actually, let's just say it, man. Like I always forget, but Maddie had a track on a super high profile TV show, right? What was that?
It was NCIS. Yeah, NCIS.
Exactly. I mean, I would expect for you to be able to place these kind of beats on such a show, but like you had this track on a really high profile sync placement. So he's a really dope producer. I would encourage everyone watching the stream to check out his proper released tracks for something. If they're interested in this, in your crazy sound, man. Because like I've always, I always told you, I listened to the D-Funk EPs like throughout the summer, Volume 1, Volume 2. But we'll mention this again after we finish. I think we are close to 1 hour. Let's just talk about a bit about transferring stuff to Ableton. How do you do that? Maybe people are not using Ableton necessarily, but how do you?
Sure. The process is kind of the same. What I like to do is like either you perform the beat, if it's really simple, you don't need to mix it too much. I just perform the beat. And I did it with I just mastered that in Ableton with I think it was the second one I showed you. And that beat, I just performed it on the SP, recorded on the phone.
So sorry to interrupt, so you don't really transfer the separate tracks?
For that one, no, because I didn't need to finish it on Ableton. On the other ones, I usually, if I feel like a track needs a lot of change, like a lot of change of patterns, a lot of, my music. So I usually do a lot of live stuff over it, like play the leads, blah blah blah. Like then a sequencer like DSP is not really capable of doing all of that in a reasonable amount of time, obviously, because you can do that. You can edit. Maybe we're gonna talk about that in the next episode, but you can actually do kind of fields on the patterns. I just find a really strange method to do that, but yeah, it's doable. You don't need to lose that much time, re-listening to the whole loop all over again.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna talk about that the next time.
Oh yeah.
But
Let's
yeah,
let's do one for more advanced tips and tricks maybe.
yeah.
So
But so there's either that way, so just performing your beat and patterns of the SP, which I think it's really easy since the pattern just changed when the previous one finishes, and you can even set up a pattern chain. So even like these, you go into pattern selects. Let's go into the. I don't think there's any patterns on this project. That's a really cool trick. I don't know if a lot of people knows about that, but there's a. It's really easy. Yeah, you chain patterns doing. Yeah. See, there's the chain. You go into chain one, and then you go into A1. Oh, it's already playing. Yeah. Obviously, I already had the chain, but yeah, you can just use the chain using hold and select the chain, and then you just put the pattern. So you play 2 times the A1, 2 times the A2, and then 4 times, I don't know, the A3, and then you just perform.
Oh, so that's great, man. So you can even repeat the pattern in the chain mode, right? So you can just so it's like similar to a song mode in a way, like.
Exactly. I find it really similar to this thing here, which is the where is it? Okay, here.
Oh man, we need
which is the PO33.
To do a stream with this one, because I've been thinking about getting one, but I just don't want to use something so small. I don't know.
But it's cool. It's cool. Super fun. Super fun. The effects are crazy.
Is it anything
but yeah,
more than proving to yourself that you can make a beat on a pocket calculator, essentially? Like
that's a good question. But
like people are like, oh, what did you use to make a beat? And you're like, I just made it on my calculator, man. Like, what?
I mean, that's the point, bro, to impress, Maybe, I don't know, maybe girls will like it. I don't know. we do it for the girls, right?
That's the last thing they can. Oh, man. Dude, we've been talking for about 1 hour. So I think it'd be a nice time for us to wrap this stream. Again, link in the description to Maddie's Instagram. Check out his music on Spotify or whatever platform you are streaming on. Maybe it would be nice to do this again. I think it went really well. I think people would be curious about your SP custom skin. I think we should have mentioned it, but this is your own design, right?
Yeah. It's basically the defunk design.
This is
so
original design.
Yeah, that's another way to waste time, guys. So if you
if you don't want to if you want to procrastinate and not make music, the SP it's plenty of. You can make your own screensaver. You can make your own.
The splash screen, bro. The splash screen is. Let me set it up already.
Oh wow!
to make the screen.
Amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's been a pleasure having you as always. When can we expect Defunk Volume 3?
Bro, there's already 2 other EPs to come out before Defunk Volume 3.
Oh, okay.
So it's gonna be another discovery and the anime one that I told you already, and you listen to one of the beats.
Is the SP gonna feature on one of these releases?
The SP the anime one, which I think is gonna be the first one released, because it's for it's a Bandcamp release, so it's gonna be really easy, and that's pretty much all from the SP. Like everything is from the SP.
So if people want to hear someone actually finishing and releasing music with the SP, check out the link to Maddie's profile in the description. And yeah, man, again, pleasure to have you on the stream as always. Hope to do it again soon. Thanks everyone
Thanks, brother.
joined in the chat, who left a message and who watched the stream. Been a pleasure having you all here, and see you next time, everyone. Peace.
See you. Peace.